Close combat strike! strike.
Defeat the enemies!
Detonation imminent. Disabling enemy defense. Blunt action required.
Defeat the enemies!
Disabling enemy defense.
Defeat the enemies!
What's up, Alvy? Yeah, probably just gonna be this and PGR tonight. How you doing? I want to make some videos for this. That's going to require another couple days of grinding, so might as well stream it, right? I need 5 more clears with him. This is a really good game. I'm glad I gave it a chance. I wasn't really sure if I would like it because I'm not really usually into gun games, but it is like really good. Much like my channel, it's been ruined by the algorithm. They're not getting many sales, so I want to try to help if I can. Obviously unpaid, but I'll help if I can. Why not? Got a couple days until Shinobi. That's the next new game I'm doing. It's already paid for.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Capture the point.
Targeting weak points. Blunt action required. Close combat strike. Blunt action required. Blunt action required.
Capture the point.
Blunt action required. Close combat strike. Close combat strike. Close combat strike.
Capture the point.
Targeting weak points. Blunt action required. Blunt action required. Blunt action required. action required. Blunt action required.
Victory! Defend the chest.
Blunt action required. Combat strike!
Wave incoming!
Fire in the hole! Close combat strike!
Victory!
I'm just gonna keep doing that one to finish this. It's the quickest one. It took like 2 minutes, I think. You can do it like 2 more times after this one, and that should be Should be done with him, I think. Well, I guess I'll just spam this on the other one and try to get to level 30. That might be what I do tonight. Just try to get the next level cap.
5,
Bit of a
4,
grind.
3, 2,
I guess I was doing it unofficially.
Wave incoming.
I guess that's what happens when you don't look at guides and
Defend
stuff.
the chest.
Blunt action required.
Wave incoming.
Detonation imminent. Blunt action required.
Wave incoming.
Blunt action required. Close combat strike. Close combat strike.
Victory!
Yeah, it's 2 minutes. 2.5 minutes. That's like the fastest clear. Should be 2 more after this, right? And then I get a pretty big upgrade. We'll see. Yeah, 2 more. So that's 550, and then probably do him next. Spend a half hour doing 12 clears with him. That's another 500, so that should be 1 full level.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wave incoming. Defend the chest.
Disabling enemy defense.
Wave incoming.
Blunt action required. Targeting weak points.
Wave incoming.
Close combat strike.
Wave incoming.
Fire in the hole! Blunt action required. Blunt action required.
Victory! Defend the chest!
Close combat strike!
Wave incoming!
Close combat strike! Fire in the hole! Targeting weak points.
Wave incoming!
Disabling enemy defense. Blunt action required.
custom playlist game. The music's good, but you just hear it a lot. Would you guys like custom music? This is gonna take a while. I need to do this 12 times, basically. I'll set it up after this run.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wave incoming.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put some custom music on, because this is going
Defend
to
the
take
chest.
quite some time. Let's just do it like this.
Wave incoming.
It's gonna take like 20 minutes to do this, basically. Probably more like 30 with load screens and everything. It's going pretty fast.
Wave incoming.
You have to level up your account to, you have to level up your account to increase the level cap, which, at the point I'm at, takes quite some time.
Wave
I wonder if I
incoming.
could just do this on tier 3. Maybe just get stuff while I'm doing this, I don't know. I'll see how much slower it is on tier 3 with him. Stuff's not as good. Probably won't be much longer. Probably gonna get a lot much useful stuff in the account. Yeah. Let me do a hard mode clear and see like how much more time it takes. Because if it's only like a couple seconds more, it's not that bad. Very good at optimizing grinds. Yeah, that like wasn't that much slower. Let me see. See if putting it on hard makes much of a difference. I think this character is definitely a little bit slower though. Like he can't clear it as quick. You know, let me go to the storage. There's probably a shield in there that he can use. Speed this up. Just takes a really long time to get back into an instance in this game. Like the load times are oddly long. Feels like it's like not properly optimized.
Welcome back.
Kinda just want to like retry the same one, but you gotta go through like multiple load screens. What is in here that he can use? Well, he can use this. No, all the characters are pretty fun. It's just kind of boring doing this grind. I kind of wish it wasn't forced. And, like you could do it if you wanted to, but you know, it wasn't forced on you. But basically, if you want to do it fast, you have to play as everybody, and it definitely takes time.
Sure, sure.
All right. I can use a little bit on this. There we go. Alright. How much slower is it going to be to do the hard mode with him. What I'm curious about is, like, does this count? Does it count doing hard mode when you don't have the quest for it? I'm genuinely curious. Because that would speed this up a lot, actually. If, like, while doing this, if it gives me progress for the other one. It might not, though. Let me make sure. I only did one with him, right? Yeah, it just takes too long to get into maps in this game. It's weird. Like, more intensive games can load quicker. Alright, let's see if this counts. If this counts, it'll be worth any risk of dying, because it will essentially give me credit for the one that's after this. I'm hoping that it will, but
Defend the chest.
I'm not quite sure. I'm not an expert on this game. How much slower is this going to be?
Wave incoming. Wave incoming. Wave incoming.
Up top. Time to roll the skies.
Oh, that was not much slower. Does that count? It does. Alright, well, that's fully optimized then. I'm gonna say, if that doesn't count, I'm gonna be pissed. What about her? I had to do 12 with her as well. This game could use, like, some kind of boss fight. Some boss fight that you could just spam quick. This is, like, as quick as it gets. They're kind of like mobile game length, but when you're playing solo, it definitely takes longer. Let's see exactly what his moves do. This is still gonna take ages. This game was supposed to be a service game, so I guess that's why they have this stuff in here, but I don't really like how your progress is tied to it. You know, if you just want to play one character, you kind of can't in this game.
5, 4, 3.
It's not efficient to only play as one character, although getting one pretty strong, and then using that to level up everybody else, like what I'm currently doing, does seem to work. But yeah, I wish there was like a 30-second fight that I could do. It would have been almost done by now. Pretty grimy. be able to, like, level everybody up pretty easily by the time I'm done with this. There's 10 more clears after this one.
Wave incoming. Wave incoming.
Up top. Up top.
Oh, no wonder. It's really annoying that this doesn't stay. This doesn't stay when you switch characters. Mass recycle. Get rid of all of it. Alright. Factoring in doing that, that actually was not much slower. Still is going to take a good 20 minutes, though. Minimum.
Victory!
This game needs a retry button. Save a good 30 seconds or so if you could just get back into it right away, but you gotta sit through 2 load screens. Come on, load.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wave incoming. Defend the chest. Wave incoming. Victory!
Yeah, it's actually not much slower than doing the normal. Mostly because of all the waiting between waves. Kind of makes it so you can... it's partially an auto-scroller. If you kill quick, you know, you do have some control over it, but a lot of it is waiting. It's probably a good, like, 30-40 seconds of waiting, even if you one-shot them, so... That's alright, though. This is getting me quite a bit of materials. So it's, yeah, I'm getting quite a few upgrades from this, and money. So it's not that bad.
5, 4,
Getting a bunch of books, too.
3,
Do the next character
2,
after this.
1. Wave incoming. Defend
I
the
do wish
chest.
there was just, like, some boss that I could just kill instantly. It's like one shot with mid-game gear. I'd be done in like a couple minutes, but this is gonna take a while.
Up top.
Wave incoming. Wave incoming. Wave incoming.
Ace away.
Victory!
Yeah, he's clearing about 20 seconds slower. He's a little bit less optimized for doing this, but he is clearing at pretty respectable speed. I kind of wish they had, like, nerfed these requirements, though. I mean, it's kind of like I already know how to play the game, but to get farther, I have to grind out these account levels. And a lot of it is just kind of just doing this. I'm surprised there's not, like,
3,
something quicker that you can do.
1. Wave incoming.
I guess if you do a skirmish, it might be
Defend the
faster.
chest.
There'd be a little bit less waiting. He is killing them pretty quick,
Ace away.
considering he's not optimized. He's just wearing Smurf gear. Donkey boy here.
Wave incoming.
optimized it. You can hold X down during the victory, and it gets you through the holding it to go to the next screen. Optimization station. There you go. That's how you do it. You gotta optimize when you play grind games. What is the most efficient thing you can do to gain the most progress in the least amount of time? Very important thing to learn. Which, I probably could have gone through this a lot faster if I had known this, but... playing blind. There's actually not really a lot of information.
2, 1.
There's not a lot of information for this game. Like, I looked up build videos before I bought this, and I couldn't really find anything. So, it's not like there's some, expert content creator I'm just, like, not watching. This is called Relic Hunter's Legend. Yeah, it's a good game.
Wave incoming.
Borderlands without all the cringe dialogue and, open world traversal. Which I think is a good thing. I don't find going around in the world in Borderlands and all the terrible dialogue to be something I like. Characters in this, like, barely talk.
Ace away!
They have a couple little quips they say, and that's it. It's not, constant yapping. Yeah, you don't ever get stopped by the yapping either.
Wave incoming.
Yeah, it's $20, well worth the price. I'm not really into gun games, but I do like twin stick shooters. This is the kind of a shooter for me.
Wave incoming.
I'm terrible at FPS games, and they give me a bit of motion sickness, so I don't really play games like that, but I can play stuff like this.
Ace away!
It's hard to find one I like, but I like this one. Probably put a good 20 or so hours into it already. It's got co-op as well, so if you want to run with a friend, it's got online co-op. That works pretty good. It's cross-play with Xbox. They only have this game on Xbox, which I think is part of why it doesn't have players. I think the Nintendo crowd would eat this game up. It's got the kind of art style that Nintendo people would like more than Xbox folks. Not photorealistic. It's also very a lighthearted, wholesome game.
Victory!
There's no swearing or gore or any mature themes. It's something that you could play with kids, which is pretty rare. You know, Borderlands is the obvious choice for that kind of game, but you know, they swear constantly, and it might be hard for a kid to understand, and this is pretty simple. It's instance-based. They have a couple different game modes, but nothing too complicated. There's this one, there's ones that are just kill maps, there's, defending a point.
4, 3,
They have, like, the payload thing from Overwatch.
Wave incoming.
So, I think it's got enough variety.
Defend the chest.
I'm just not sure how I feel about forcing you to play as everybody. I think this is kind of reducing my enjoyment having to do this. But admittedly, I wasn't really looking at information for this game, so I wasn't doing it the optimal way. Now that I am, maybe by the end of this stream I'll be done. We'll see. the hardest thing to get people to play this is the art style. People have very fragile egos. They think that they can't play kids games. It's like, just because it looks like it's for kids, it's got more than enough depth. It's actually a really deep action RPG. It's just, it doesn't look like one. Because all the popular action RPGs are grimdark, depression porn settings. Or like the world is completely jacked and you're like the last bastion of humanity. Literally all of them are like that. And this one is not. But I guess it's just hard to get people on board with playing something like this because they're too fragile to just understand that, like, you know, most of the greatest games ever made are like kid-friendly. The vast majority of them are. Literally every Mario and Sonic and Mega Man game. I mean, they're games for kids, but they have the gameplay depth that an adult can still enjoy them.
3,
But, I talked to one of the people at this company, and he said that he wishes he didn't use this art style. I'm like, I actually like the art style. It's colorful. All the action RPGs just kind of blend together at this point. They all play very differently, but it's the exact same theme. You know, chosen one against last bastion of humanity, and not versus, but you know, protecting the last bastion of humanity, and everything is depressing and dark. It's nice that this is basically just like a Cartoon Network show that never existed. I think it's very appealing. Honestly, the best thing about this game is not the art style or the gameplay. It's the fact that you can skip the story. That is legendary. Because everybody hates the campaign in action RPGs. Every single one. Like, no one likes it. The campaign is, like, objectively the worst part of these kinds of games, and this game just lets you skip it. There's like a 30-minute tutorial that basically just teaches you how to play, and then after that, you don't have to do any campaign stuff at all. You just go straight to the grind. So like basically, you're doing maps in this game from the first hour, which is really cool. So again, if people could look past the fact that, yeah, it does look like a Cartoon Network show, quality of life is pretty awesome.
Up top.
I don't know how action RPG fans don't get tired of that setting. Like, literally all of them are like that. Like, all of them. Name one besides this that's not like that. That's like a game that people actually play that's popular. And all of them are like that. It's nice to have some color back. And it's kind of what they tried with Diablo 3. Diablo 3 was basically, you know, the standard post-apocalyptic depression porn setting, but they tried to make it colorful, and then people complained that it was too colorful. I'm like, the color was the best thing about that game. It wasn't so dull to look at. It wasn't just brown and dark for 1,000 hours. It's nice that this game actually has some color.
4, 3, 2.
2 more clears after this.
Wave incoming.
Should be a pretty big spike. It's not going to be enough to get me the level cap,
Defend the
but
chest.
enough to at least get to the next level and probably have a good chunk into the one after that.
Wave incoming.
top.
Victory! Wave incoming! Defend the chest!
Okay, I've got a cunning plan. Woo!
Wave incoming!
If you've heard of Hell Clock, this game is made by the same people, but it's doing, honestly, terribly. It's like if they can get people to play the game, people end up liking it, but the algorithm has really screwed them over. There's a lot worse games than this. Worse action RPGs than this. Or way worse. This game doesn't deserve to have, like, under 100 concurrent players. I could definitely say that after playing it for like 20 hours. This should be, like, really popular.
5, 4, 3,
more accessible,
wave incoming!
time-respecting ARPG than, like, Borderlands, and then also,
Defend the chest!
for obvious reasons, a lot easier to run. You don't need a monster computer to play this compared to, like, the new Borderlands. It sucks, man. Experiencing the same thing I am, where
Wave incoming!
unfortunately the algorithm really controls a lot of whether people see your stuff or not. Sucks. So I hope to make some good videos for this. Probably not going to be on it as much once Shinobi and Lost Soul side come out, but we'll see what I can do before then. So the next 5 days, See if I can cook up something.
Wave incoming. Wave incoming.
Up top.
Victory!
Is that it? Or do I need one more? I lost count. Brain turned off. Yeah, that was it. Oh, it didn't count! That's so lame, man. That's so lame. I just did 12 hard missions. That's stupid. Now that is just grinding for the sake of grinding. That's dumb. Like, dude, I just did 12s. You mean to tell me that that doesn't count? I don't know, this just feels like they just want you to grind. Like, it's not particularly fun, though. It just kind of goes to a standstill. You gotta get this stupid account level. It's dumb, honestly. Should not be like this. Can't believe it didn't count. That is so stupid. Wow. I kind of want to, like, keep progressing, but I can't. So I have to it's gonna take like a half hour per character. Where's the, like, 30-second clear boss fight that I can do to speed this up? This is kind of whack, honestly. Well, I guess they just want you to grind your balls off. The problem is, it's just not fun. Alright, well, what's the next best thing to do? I did get a lot of materials, so it's not too bad. It's just this is boring. I want to, like, actually do challenging stuff, but I can't. Maybe it's time to take a break from this. That's the problem with this system, is just... It's such a grind. The objectives are too grindy. I can't believe it didn't stack. Like, did these people not play Halo? Halo was like the first game to actually let you stack stuff like that. Like, if you do it on the hardest difficulty, it counts for normal and vice versa. It doesn't, though. It's like, none of those 12 missions I did counted. There's no reason for it. Like, what the hell, man? It still wouldn't have mattered, because I would have had to still level him up, but it's still stupid. What reason is there for that? Never even gave a shit about Halo, but it was cool how that was one of the first games to have, like, achievement stacking. So that this doesn't happen. I don't even know what to do that's quick at this point, besides just spamming more missions. I mean, I guess I could do that. If I had a human to play this with, it probably would go a lot faster. And none of these are quick, like, at all. I can't even progress with him anymore. Ugh. I guess I can do this for 400. Maybe I'll try doing some treasure maps or something. That sucks balls. Why does it not count? No reason for that other than just to make it more grindy. Serves zero purpose. I thought I was being smart by doing that. To my credit, I gave the game too much. I gave the game too much credit. It's so dumb. I did exactly like 12 hard missions, or at least 10. I should have been almost done, because there was like those 2 that I did that were on normal, but none of it counted. Stupid. I don't know, if they had something quicker that you could clear, it'd be a little bit more understandable to have it this grindy, but there's not. There's not like a quick fight that you can do, just like one-shot a boss. Alright, so I guess I want to get him to 380. I guess I'll do that, because by the time I do all this damn grinding, by the time I do all this, I should be ready for the next one. Let me see if this person has a glove. Can't tell who can use these. Please let him equip that. Oh, he can't equip it. You need a better pair of shoes. $387. Alright, well, that grind was not completely pointless. It's probably gonna take like another full stream to get to the next level. So grindy. At least you can like share most gear. I mean, that does help a little bit, but it still takes too long.
strike. Disabling enemy defense. Fast action required. Disabling enemy defense.
Probably not getting any progress for this, even though this is what I actually want to do. Get this damn account level up. I guess this is what happens when, like, almost everybody stops playing the game because there were publisher problems. I would have definitely said, like, you need to reduce this grind. I can get quite a little bit from this, I guess.
Close combat strike. Disabling enemy defense. Detonation imminent.
I'd have to get rid of this one, though. Ah. Oh, it's actually not a bad drop. See, this is a lot more fun than doing the relic grinding. I guess if you have somebody to do this with, it probably goes faster, but... It's basically like 2 more levels and then I get the next tier. Got a level and a half already. I'm not focused. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. I'm not having fun doing the same mission over and over. I guess it just gets to the point where it doesn't matter, but I definitely do feel really held back by it. I can't do these yet. I'm still too weak. let's knock these out. Alright, well this is progress, that's fun.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Targeting weak points. Blunt action required. Close combat strike. Blunt action required. Targeting weak points.
Look at the pinned message. I'm trying to raise donations for it. Yeah. I couldn't be more interested in that game. Why? Did they release a demo or something? I'm like 15 bucks short for the deluxe edition. I'm very interested in that game. I've been waiting for it for 10 years. I guess you didn't see the pinned message. But yes, I am very interested. They've had too many Souls-likes. Too many Souls-likes lately. Nice to have an actual character action game. Getting that in Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, I'll be doing it on release. Like, the moment it comes out. Even if I don't get donations, I'll still be doing it. Shinobi comes out first, because, they actually come out on, like, the same day, or they come out, like, within a couple hours of each other, but I bought the deluxe edition of Shinobi to avoid that being a problem.
Blunt action required.
The deluxe edition is you know, pay more to play it early thing. This was one of the times I wanted to do it, because otherwise there would have been like two big games on the channel at once, and I'm gonna have to work at my neighbor's house most of those days. Most of them, so... My Steam Deck is also partially broken, so... That's part of it.
Miss.
Steam Deck is partially broken. It's gonna be a while until I can get it fixed. So even playing Shinobi is gonna be a bit of a stretch right now. Won't be able to play it over there easily. I liked Kazan. Kazan was really good. But Kazan is barely a Souls-like. Barely a Souls-like. They were actually very accurate with the marketing for Kazan when they said that, it kind of starts like one, but not really. But then, after you get near the end of the first playthrough, it basically turns into a character action game. I thought the progression in that game was really fun. Even at the beginning, you're still, like, be able to combo stuff to death. I thought that the progression in that game was really good. But yeah, I'm getting sick of Souls-likes. There's just too many of them. They're not particularly interesting. Next one I'm interested in is Neo 3, but whether you consider Neo series to be one is up for interpretation. Some people do, some people don't. No, I don't care about that. That's an easy skip for me. I never really liked Metal Gear that much. I enjoyed the first one, but that was mostly just because I had the PC version. And that was one of the few PlayStation games I could actually play, because I had an N64 back then. Other than that, I don't really give a crap about, I don't give a crap about Metal Gear. I don't really think that game even really needed a remake. I mean, it still holds up just fine. It's not like late-era PS2 games like that are outdated. They're still, like, more than playable. I don't know, they remake stuff they don't need to remake. I kind of felt that way with the RE4 remake. I'm like, that game still holds up just fine. Looks fine, plays fine. They really need a remake. At least the RE4 remake is overall improvements, because I know people didn't like the Resident Evil 3 remake because they cut out a bunch of stuff. You know, the RE4 remake kept, like, mostly everything, so at least that helps, but I don't really see why MGS3 needs a remake. It was a pretty advanced game for its time. It's not like it's that old. It's just like legacy games out there that need a remake way more than that does. But, I just don't like stealth games in general, so I won't be buying or playing that. I hope it turns out well. I hope it's not one of those remakes that's worse than the original, because there are plenty of those. The FF7 remake is divisive. It's like just so many games that, like, don't hold up anymore that could actually, you know, deserve a remake. The games that age, like, really poorly. Like, Ocarina of Time has aged so poorly. It's such a revolutionary game, but, like, 20 FPS and everything. Like, it's really hard to go back to that game. I'm not gonna lie. Granted, there's the source, the fan port of it, which fixes all those problems. The higher frame rate and resolution really helps. But yeah, I don't understand why they remake stuff that, like, ages fine. Not everything needs to be remade. There's plenty of stuff that does. They need to do a God Hand remaster. That game desperately needs a remake. That game needs a remake or a remaster minimum, like, so bad. It's such a good game, but, you know, it barely runs at, like, 30 FPS. It'd definitely be a net positive if they would bring that game back. But they're too busy making the 18th Resident Evil game. Capcom doesn't make good games anymore. It's kind of like stopped making good games. Well, it's not the same experience because the first one basically padded out something that was supposed to be like 6 to 10 hours. They made it into 40 hours. Like, the game totally suffers because of that. You get out of that first city. I barely even played that game. I didn't really like it when it came out. I hated the graphics. But
Targeting weak points.
I know for a fact you get out of that first city real quick. But then the remake made it take like 50 hours. Everything is so slow-paced. Because they need to justify it being full AAA $60 price. Even though it doesn't need to be. They have to pad out everything because it needs to be 3 games now instead of 1.
Fire in the hole!
I didn't play the RE4 remake. I got enough of that game on the GameCube. I wasn't really caring about the remake and like I have fond memories of the original, but I actively hate Resident Evil. because it's like the only franchise they care about anymore. That and Monster Hunter. To a lesser extent, Street Fighter. My favorite Capcom franchises are not those, so... And all those franchises have been forgotten. There's no Mega Man besides collections. Sengoku Basara hasn't gotten anything, despite this being the 20th anniversary. No Final Fight. Like, there just hasn't been much at all. Strider, no new game in 10 years. Actually, like, closer to 12 years now. Last mainline Basara game was 10 years ago. They don't care about any of their actual good franchises. They only, they keep spamming the worst ones. I mean, I don't hate Street Fighter. I'm just, like, not really into fighting games anymore. Street Fighter 6 seems pretty good, I guess. I don't know, just not having a place to play in person kind of made me not care about fighters anymore. I just feel like most PS2 games don't need remakes. You pop them in an emulator and they're still fine. It's not like game design has drastically changed since the PS2 era. The PS2 was like the last time that there was like a major game design change, just because so many different types of games could be made that couldn't be made before. Hardware limitations were less of a thing, but like everything since then has been very iterative. Like, I feel like most PS2 games don't need remakes. There are some that would definitely benefit from it, like God Hand, for instance. God Hand combat is definitely held back by the hardware, and it would be nice if they would at least remaster it.
Blunt action required.
But like most PS2 games, they still hold up just fine. Pop them in an emulator, run them at like minimum 1080p, they're fine. Like, they do not need a remake. The remaster is more than enough. Kind of like what they're doing with the Tales games. Like, those games don't need remakes. The remaster is more than enough. Especially because these next two... the last two remasters they've done, which is Zelia in October and then Graces, are like still... they're still the best way to play the games. You know, you get unlocked frame rate. They did a lot of quality of life stuff. Like, that's all those games really needed. I'm going to argue that they could have done a little bit more with Graces and Zelia. Maybe make the accuracy system a little bit less overbearing and frustrating if you don't understand that it's not gotcha pull hit stun. It's actually a very complex Einstein-level formula, but the game never tells you that, so the average person playing it is not going to understand that it's not random. But they're still good remasters in their own right. Like, those games did not need remakes.
Blunt action required.
PS3 games need remakes even less. I feel like Dreamcast and below is when like a remake might actually be beneficial. PS1 is debatable. It depends on the kind of game it is. Like FF7 definitely did need a remake. It's just they're going about it in a way that people hate with all the changes and stuff. But yeah, that game is definitely antiquated. That game aged so poorly, and you consider that like 3 years after it came out, we had like 4 years after FF7 came out, like we had
Fire in the
FF10
hole.
with like full voice acting and like a full 3D world and everything. Like, anybody who says it still holds up is wrong. That game aged like the poorest out of anything. It's just people wanted a straight remake and they're not wanting to do that. That's mostly what the problem is. I don't think people really remember how quickly that game aged. It was very fast. Faster than anyone wants to admit. It came out in the middle of the PS1 generation, and after that we were getting stuff like Metal Gear Solid 2 and FFX the same year. And like those games also still hold up just fine. You know, the remaster they did for FF10 is more than enough. It doesn't really need a remake. A lot of people have very strong nostalgia for FF7, but I don't think the graphics were great when it was new, and it aged the worst. Like, I understand that people have a really big emotional connection to it, but it had a very, very short period where it was cutting edge. A lot less time than people think. That game aged like milk real quick. I'd argue the Tales of Destiny remake is one of the best remakes I've ever played, because that game definitely needed it. It's kind of an interesting case, because it definitely aged better than FF7, but, you know, they hadn't really figured out the combat at that point, because it was only the second game in the series. The remake improves on almost everything, to the point where I wouldn't really recommend most people to play the original. But that's pretty rare. Most remakes are a mixed bag, at least in video games, where, you know, the older one might still be better in some ways. FF7 Remake is a completely different game because they cannot make a... They can't make a game that covers everything. It's just not possible to do that, especially because there's a number of reasons that people don't realize. I mean, part of it is greed, yes, but storage space is definitely a thing. Like I bought FF7 Rebirth. That thing's like 180 gigs. Like they couldn't release a 500 gig game and not be laughed out of the industry. That's definitely part of the problem, for sure. I think a lot of people forget that part. I think the main thing they did, though, they probably could have done it in like 2 games, maybe, if they hadn't put it on PS4, but that's one of those games that should not have been on PS4. That was a real greedy thing about the first FF7 remake, was putting it on PS4 when it had no business being on that hardware. The game, like, barely runs. It's insane that they got a game of that fidelity to run on the PS4, but, you know, they put out the PS5 one, like, barely a year later.
Close combat strike.
Most of the Tales remakes have been pretty good, actually. Innocence R is definitely better than the original. Hearts is more divisive. Because Hearts DS itself isn't like a completely terrible game. Innocence was not that great, and was really held back by the hardware. Hearts DS, the original one, it's more than a competent game. Yeah, Innocence original does not hold up.
This is it. Fire in the hole! Close combat strike! Blunt action required. I can't miss.
Yeah, like if they made like a full remake of FF7 with like nothing cut out, like everything from the original, it'd probably be like 600 gigs. And I do think that's part of the reason why they decided to do 3 parts.
5, 4,
There've been a lot of people telling them to do it in 1 part. I'm like, well, as much as it sucks that they're dragging it out and everything, and the game design suffers because of it, I do feel like people forget the size is an issue.
Blunt action required.
Games are getting massive.
Blunt action required.
People are upset today because after Gamescom, they updated the Steam page for Ninja Gaiden 4, and apparently it's going to be 100 gigs.
Close
Like,
combat strike.
what character action game needs to be 100 gigs? DMC5 is 40 gigs. Full-fledged game with, like, photorealistic cutscenes, like a full campaign. It's only 40 gigs, but Ninja Gaiden wants 100. It's probably a little bit less than that, but it's
Blunt
looking
action
like
required.
it's going to be double the size of DMC5. Like, I'm sorry, character action games don't need to be that big. That's some garbage compression or something that they're not doing. But yeah, I do think space limitations
Blunt
is
action required.
definitely a big reason why they don't want to release a game that, like,
Blunt action
can't
required.
play on PS5 without upgrading your hard drive. That would make people real rabid. The stock PS5 hard drive is barely enough for, like, Genshin Impact and Call of Duty. If you're a dude bro that likes Chinese gacha games, those are like the 2 games that you can install on there. And then maybe like 1 small game like this. I don't think Square wants to be known for making the first, like, 500 gig RPG.
Detonation imminent. Close combat strike.
I mean, there's people that are so clouded by nostalgia, they think the game did need a
Detonation
remake.
imminent.
It definitely needed one. I think people forget how quickly video games were progressing back then. Every, like, 3 years there was a drastic change. And that doesn't really happen anymore. But back then, a game could get outdated so quick, and FF7 got the worst of that by far. Because it was like a 3-4 year difference. And then, you know, FFX came out. A game from the same franchise that holds up a lot better. Hence why they haven't remade that game. It doesn't really need one. PS2 games hold up way better than PS1 era. Early 3D aged poorly, mega quick. I guess it's just they felt they needed to change stuff with it, but that alienated a lot of people. They wanted it to be the same thing in higher fidelity, and that's not what the game is. PS1 to PS2 was like the 5th and 6th generation was like the last major bump we had in gaming. It feels like it's stagnated a lot. They've definitely got a lot worse at making the game. I don't think anybody can deny that. It's insane what they did with such crap hardware back then, and now these new games, you know, they have so much more They have so much more processing power. But the games are like, they're made way worse. I mean, adjusted for inflation, FF7 was like more expensive than what you can get the remake for now. Adjusted for inflation, that's not entirely true. I think it's just that they've gotten so much worse at making games in general, is what the real issue is. One of the things they definitely need to do is make it optional to download different voice packs, because honestly, even people who are like bilingual, trilingual, they're gonna play in their native language, right? And there are a big number of games right now, or if you delete the other languages, you can cut the size down by a lot. Some of these AAA games are fully dubbed in like 6 different languages. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's a good thing that more people can play the games and they don't have to default to English or Japanese, but that shit balloons the size of the game so much. And I think it's really backwards that they haven't made it so that you can just download the one you want, you know. If you speak Spanish, you know, just the Spanish one, and maybe like the English one. Just like 1 or 2 tops. That's one of the things that's ballooning the size of these games, especially AAA games. Voice track, sometimes like completely different cutscenes, I think. Like, most people are not gonna care about multiple languages. They'll care if it's, you know, the language that they speak, but, you know, they're not gonna care about multiple ones like that. I don't think anybody does. Most of the time you're gonna play in your native language, and maybe another one if you're trying to learn it or something. But they make you download like a dozen different voice tracks, which is nuts. You should not have to do that. Should be like an option, like I only want English and Spanish, or English and Japanese, or Japanese and Portuguese or something. Not all of them. I mean, FF7 was a pretty expensive game back then, especially when you adjust it for inflation. That game was not cheap. You could probably get both remakes cheaper. But, yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, video game remakes are definitely consistently better than movie and TV show remakes. Pretty much objectively. Even ones that are divisive, like the FF7 remake and the Resident Evil remakes. They have a higher chance of being better than a movie or a TV show, but there definitely are a fair amount of them that, you know, they don't need to be remade. FF7 totally needed it. It's just, I don't know what possessed them to change the story and stuff. It felt like they had an easy win right there by just... The same game, like I said, I totally understand why they had to split it into at least 2 parts because of the storage issues, but the same game with no changes. I think that would have made people a lot happier. Doing this multiverse stuff doesn't seem like anybody likes it. Seems like everybody hates it. Like, people who grew up with the original hate it, and people that are like younger, that weren't around for the original, they don't like it either. So I don't understand what the purpose of doing that was.
Detonation imminent!
You know, the Destiny remake, I'd argue, is a better JRPG remake because they didn't mess with the story that much. They did change some things, but not nowhere near to the extent of FF7.
is it.
I don't know, some of the complaints about the FF7 remake, like the fact that they didn't do
Action required.
turn-based, are just kind of stupid to me, because the only big budget
Blunt action
turn-based
required.
series that do well is Persona and Dragon Quest. But those are nowhere near as popular as FF7. FF7 is like a legendary game. There's no way they were going to spend that much money making that game and then make it turn-based. They knew that that was going to completely alienate the amount of people that would play it. I didn't really care for the battle system myself, as somebody that has like no nostalgia for the originals. But I mean, it was obvious from the start that they were not going to do that. I don't know why people were expecting that. There's no way that they were going to do that. That would have greatly limited its reach. I can understand the want for it, but I don't know, the way I see it, even if it did have just the straight ATB system from FF7, they're still gonna do all the multiverse crap, so how much does it matter? Still would have liked the game anyway. I think people forget that part as well.
Disabling enemy defense.
They seem dead set on changing the story, so you think of it that way, changing the combat doesn't really matter as much as people say it does.
Close combat strike.
That's why I think Destiny Remake is top tier. Not like anybody was really nostalgia for the old combat. It was good for its time, but it definitely aged pretty poorly, and they managed to like not really repeat the mistakes of the FF7 remake, where stories mostly kept the same. They do kind of try to change things, but it got more difficult because you know, the game has a direct sequel, but they did kind of write it in a way where if you didn't care about the sequel,
Blunt
it
action
had a very
required.
conclusive ending. That, you know, if you wanted to go play the sequel, it didn't contradict it that much. Good remake. I hope that that gets on the remaster project at some point. And I imagine they're gonna spam all the ones that have been translated first. Alright, that should be another map done. Alright, what's the quickest one to do? I think we'll get to the next level and I'll probably do PGR and go to bed. What's the quickest one that I can do? This is gonna take 12 missions, which is minimum half an hour. Sucks, man. I guess what I can do is I can just run it with this character. Finish this one. Oh, this one is all red chests. Never mind on that one. Yeah, I can do this one. Do this one with the other character. Let me see if I have anything in the storage that she can use. I'm gonna have to play as her for a while. Maybe I'll like playing as her, I don't know. I like Jimmy and Pinky the best so far. My favorite characters. Let me check the storage. Well, that's right, I gotta do PGR, huh? Maybe we'll take a PGR break. Gotta finish up Warzone. Not Warzone, but Pain Cage. Let me see if I got a
Welcome back.
piece of gear she can use. Oh, I can use this one. Alright, cool.
Always. Welcome back. Safe, Hunter.
Alright, so if I knock out getting all the chests and then finishing all the missions, that's about 300. And then I do 12 missions with her, that's like 600. So that's probably the best thing to do right now. I wish I had somebody that could carry me through it, just to make it quicker, but I gotta set this up as well. Let me see if there's a pair of boots that she can use. Well, this is probably going to be the longest one, because it's doing 2 objectives at once to stack it. Might be better to get her something. Let's see. Alright, let's get this done, and then I'm going to do PGR and probably call it a stream. It's gonna take minimum half an hour. But the quickest way to do this is to play as her and knock all of them out. By the time I clear this, I'll probably just need to do a couple of those, the ice defense mission. It'll take like 10 extra minutes, I think. Yeah, there's quite a few in here. What do I need to do exactly? Wait a minute, which one is it? Hilltown. Not this one. That one wants me to do all the chests, and that's total guide material. I'm not doing that. Which one is Hilltown? Oh, okay. Yeah, just these over here. That's not too bad. Should be able to get to the next big tier next stream. So next time I play this, it's definitely not going to be tonight, unless I go another 3 hours.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Defeat the enemies.
Will ya? Hear me out.
Defeat the enemies.
You guys excited for Ninja Gaiden 4? People seem to either love it or hate it. But I think what they revealed today, at least for the people that are sensible, should ease a lot of those complaints. Mainly that they said that like the dodge cancels and stuff is all optional. So if you want to play it like an old Ninja Gaiden game with, you know, the lack of cancels and everything, you still can. It's just going to be an optional ability that you can upgrade. I personally like all the changes they're making, but I know that that's not everybody's opinion. I don't know. It seems like they're making the right decisions from what I've seen so far. I was hoping that they were gonna drop a demo, but I guess they need a reason for people to go to Gamescom. I was really fiending for a demo, but didn't get much of anything.
Defeat the enemies.
Time to party!
Victory!
The discourse is basically people want the exact same game, and they seem to think that the old games are infallible. They're perfect games, which they aren't.
3, 2,
I'm sorry, but getting hit by off-screen projectiles is not peak game design. I'm sorry to say that. It's just not. Like, there's a subset of people. It's always been like this with Ninja Gaiden, but keep in mind, modern Ninja Gaiden predates Souls-likes by like 7 years. Like, just because something is hard doesn't mean it's well designed. That's something that a lot of people don't understand. That's why me personally, I do hard stuff in games if it's well designed. You know, I've done my fair share of speed runs and no damage boss fights and all those kinds of things, but like, if I feel like it's poorly designed, I won't do it. But there are a lot of people that think that just because something's hard, it's well designed, and it's not. And modern Ninja Gaiden's had tons of stupid stuff like that. Like, an insane amount of just shit design. The Alchemist and Ninja Gaiden 3 are a good example of how much they spam blocking. The garbage boss fights where they don't, you know, consistently stagger. Like, they're fixing all of those things, pretty much. So, I'm all for it. Yeah, some people just, they say they want the game to be challenging. It's like, well, it should be a good challenging and not just challenging because it's unfair or annoying. The challenge should actually be fun, in my opinion. It should not be, this is ball-busting hard, but it's like not even well-designed. Which is something that plagues all the Ninja Gaiden games. They're still great games. I want to sound like they're bad games. But they are definitely not perfectly designed. They never were. I think this one that's coming up has the highest chance of being the best designed out of all of them. Just overall, best game design. But, I mean, we're going off gameplay. I haven't played it yet. But everything they've shown so far, I'm definitely pretty pleased. Well, that's the other thing too, Power Flood, is people don't have self-control. I'm dating myself by saying this, but it was always a problem with arcade ports. When we started to get like arcade perfect ports, people would say you could beat the game too quickly. It's like, well, you're credit feeding, right? The game's not designed for credit feeding. It was designed for you to try to get better at the game and beat it on 1 credit. It's not the game's fault that those people didn't have self-control. And like, if the OP thing is bothering you, you know, it's a single-player game, so just don't use it. Of course the game should be, like, better balanced so that there isn't such a temptation to use it, but there definitely is a loss of self-control. It's a really big problem, actually. It's only gotten worse since the Souls games became a thing. Like, everybody looks at a character action game and they say it's too easy. Like, just because the game is not slow doesn't mean it's easy or brain dead. Now, there are plenty of games that are brain dead and fast, but people just classify everything as a mindless button masher if it's not a Souls-like now, which is really weird. Like, people don't care about the kind of challenge that they're getting. They just want it to be hard. It's like, shouldn't you value a well-designed challenge instead of, like, how Ninja Gaiden is often hard with, like, bullshit enemies and gotcha pull hit stun and grabs that have a hitbox the size of Texas? Personally, I don't value that at all. I want an actual good challenge. Otherwise, I just plain won't do it. I'm just getting too old to mold at stuff I'm not completely enjoying. If I'm not enjoying the game, I just, you know, at best I'll roll the credits. I'll roll the credits and then move on. Not every game is worth undivided attention. Some stuff is totally fine to one and done. Let's move on. Yeah, those are people that are, got their brains fried by Souls-likes. They can't accept that, like, most games were fast-paced before that. Decent chunk of action games were fast-paced. Alright, there we go. I just need to complete all the missions.
Victory!
I'm excited for the game. I don't know if I'll end up liking it, but it seems like I'll like it more than the previous ones, so, that's good. I've uploaded some Ninja Gaiden stuff, but not much. Every change they've made so far, I'm in line with. The only thing I don't like is telling people that they have to go buy the $90 deluxe edition to get weapons for Ryu. Oh, that is bullshit. All the complaints about that are well warranted. Like, that's just dumb.
3, 2, 1. Wave incoming.
That's just dumb.
Defend the chest.
Everybody that's upset about that is totally in the right. I just think people that say the game is bad because you can animation cancel is kind of dumb. Like, it's not like it's gonna make the game easier. It's totally gonna be balanced around that, right? They're saying that you don't even have to use it. So, I don't see what the problem is. Seems like a lot of molding over nothing.
Wave incoming. Wave incoming.
I think it's also a lot of them are maybe younger people, or people that weren't into gaming in the early years. You know, 8, 16-bit era. A lot of those games are
Wave incoming.
designed like trash. Like, they're still good games, but the difficulty is completely unfair. Some of it was intentional, some of it was just poor game design, but like, that's why it can be hard for people to go back to those games, even if they can accept, you know, old graphics. Played my fair share of shit games as a kid in the NES era. I knew they were shit back then. They're only worse now. Only gotten worse over time. Well, the Souls games have environmental storytelling for the most part, so that's total YouTube bait. Algorithm loves that stuff. I prefer that to excessive amounts of cutscenes to the point where you can barely play the game, but yeah, the algorithm loves those kinds of things. But you're right, though. I don't think the gameplay is really ever even mentioned in those videos. You're not wrong.
Close the rift.
I mean, in the defense of Ninja Gaiden, old school Ninja Gaiden fans, franchise didn't exactly take a break in the best way. I totally empathize with that. Vanilla Ninja Gaiden 3 was a complete disaster. It's just complete, like, character and franchise assassination. That definitely has not helped things. Razor's Edge, they fixed as much as they could, but they obviously had a very limited time and budget. I understand the bitterness that comes from not getting a new game in so long, and the last one is, like, average at best. I understand that as a Tales fan, a Basara fan. I totally get where they're coming from, but I don't know. The best designed one is the first one. The first one is the best designed by far. It felt like the design got worse as the series progressed. But then people still think those games are perfect too. I'm like, they're far from perfect. They're all playable games, but I don't think that they're particularly well designed.
Rift closed. Victory!
Hey, is my stream still on? Is my stream still on? It said it lost connection. I hope the stream is still on. I wouldn't be too upset if it wasn't, but... Alright, gotta do 8 of these now. Alright, yeah, it must have just been the game. Alright, if I max out these two, that'll get me to the next level cap, right? Yeah. Level 30. Alright. Well, it's gonna take 8 clears with him to get 600 experience. And then with her, 8 clears to get 600. So that's 1200 right there. Let's go ahead and finish hers first. Yeah, this one is pretty quick. You know, let me back out of the game and get offline. Just freaking out. I had to load the whole game again to do that, huh? Yeah, we'll do that.
Relic Hunter's Legend.
Oh no, they announced a second Devil May Cry anime. And they really... They really announced another season. Just announce a game, come on! Make a Warriors Abyss roguelike. Just recycle all those assets. And give me tagging. Please! Make another anime! Good lord, man. How tone deaf are they? DMC5 sells so many copies. It's almost sold... DMC series is almost sold more than Mega Man, with like less than 10% of the amount of games, because Mega Man has like... It took like 100 games to reach that level. DMC has done it with... DMC's done it with only 6 games, and they won't make a new game. They're making another anime instead, even though everybody already hated the first season. And you don't even have the original voice actor. What the hell is Capcom doing? They just hate everything but their top franchises. Sucks balls.
5, 4,
Used to be my favorite
3,
company
2,
growing up.
1.
So many legendary games.
Defend the chest.
Just make another game already. Dude, why did it unequip my stuff? What the hell? Why does it do that?
Wave incoming.
They need to make another game already. Why are they not making another game? Go without Resident Evil for a while. Least interesting Capcom franchise. So much stuff that they don't care about anymore. Legit depressing how far that company has fallen. They were doing pretty good for a while. They're doing pretty good for a while, like actually making stuff that wasn't just their top established franchises, but not anymore. It's like, how much does it cost to make a new Final Fight? You know, I can understand not wanting to make a new Basara because the production values on those games were better than most of the Koei Tecmo stuff. But like, how much does it cost to make a Final Fight? How can you not make one? At the very least, like, outsource it to one of the companies, those indie studios, that has shown that they actually know how to make a beat 'em up. Like, that should be the bare minimum, right? Like, Resident Evil 9's gotta cost, like, hundreds of millions to make, but somehow they can't do a new Final Fight, despite it being, like, obviously way cheaper to make. It just doesn't make any sense. You know, Sega pretty much understands that, right? Like, they outsource to capable indie studios, and they give them the resources and the money to make the game, and they give them the permission to the license. Which is how, like, we got a new Shinobi, we got a new Streets of Rage, you know, we got Sonic Mania from that. Like, all really good games that are even, like, arguably better than the original Japanese ones. But Capcom just doesn't do that. I don't understand why. It seems really backwards to me. It's clearly a winning formula at this point.
Wave incoming.
You know, Shredder's Revenge isn't my favorite beat-em up by any definition, but it's a good game. And it sold like crazy, so clearly they did something right. It's just strange that they, like, don't do that anymore. They haven't for a good while. Inti Creates doing the Mega Man games, those were like some of the best Mega Man games ever made. It's weird to just like, yeah, we're not gonna do that anymore. You find like an indie team of like 20 people that could make a new Final Fight. Like, can't possibly cost that much. Yeah, being a Capcom fan is pain unless you're into their biggest franchises. There's just a lot of uncertainty if we'll ever even get a new game to begin with.
Wave incoming. Victory!
I feel like that's why Capcom is falling behind on like their less remembered franchises because they don't outsource properly. That's definitely a huge part of it. Undeniably a huge part. It's not like making a new Final Fight is going to cost as much as making a new Resident Evil. Now, Basara, as much as I want there to be a new one, I could totally understand why there's not. Keeping up those production values with any kind of certainty that it will make its money back is totally understandable. But also, you know, they stopped releasing the games outside of Japan, so I don't know what it was that they were expecting. It's clearly a market for those kinds of games, but you know, they just kind of gave up. But yeah, I can totally understand why there's not another Basara. As bitter as it makes me, I understand from just a standpoint why there's not one.
Wave incoming!
The stuff like no Final Fight, no new Final Fight, no Strider or Mega Man is really weird.
Wave incoming! Wave incoming! Victory!
I feel like DMC6 should have been like at least in pre-production by now, after how well it sold. Oh well.
4, 3,
Just have to accept that Capcom is not what they used to be.
wave incoming!
They're not the same company I grew up with.
Defend the chest!
At least Sega's kept it legit, especially after they started outsourcing. That's been immensely successful for them. If only Capcom would take a hint. Got a bunch of French people to make
Incoming!
Shinobi and Streets of Rage. And like they had rave reviews and insane sales. You think that they would take some kind of hint from that, but I guess not. Oh well.
Wave incoming!
Hear me out. Time to shut you down.
Victory!
I didn't even watch the first season of it. I just didn't care.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Didn't care. I just want more game content. I'm not a big TV watcher. I used to be when I was a child, but by the time I got out of high school, I like almost completely stopped watching TV because YouTube became a thing. Just hearing everything being so bad about it, I just like don't even care. And if I get like really bored one day, but I don't really have any interests. If it leads to a new game, I'm all for it.
Solo time.
I mean, that's probably why we got the PGR collab, because of that anime, so I'm thankful for that, but I don't know. The product itself, I just don't care about. If they actually get a new game installment in the next decade, maybe I'll care.
Wave incoming! Wave incoming!
Well, Terra ran like shit. I heard that game ran terribly. It's ahead of its time. Barely functioning. It's ahead of its time there. True pioneer. Running like garbage to the point where it's barely playable. Earned its place in history. Now every game is like that. Every game is a barely functioning mess. You have like more than recommended specs. That's exactly what Terra was. I think Crystal of Atlant had a chance to be relevant in that field, but being a Chinese game with a Korean grind, I think, did not help things. It's weird, because, like, most of the Chinese gachas are way less grindy than Crystal of Atlant. They've gotten rid of a lot of those mechanics, but, like, Crystal of Atlant is designed like a Korean MMO. Insane soul-crushing grind and, like, a toxic raid focus.
Wave incoming!
And, like, most of the successful Asian service games have gotten rid of all that stuff because they know that it doesn't work. There's a very specific group of people that will put up with that shit, and it's not mainstream. Not the mainstream, that's for sure. That's why DFO's player retention is so bad on the Korean server. Because it's such an antiquated game. People don't want to do that anymore. There's like way better choices that are more respecting of your time. So,
Hear me out.
seems like the game is doing better than anybody wants to believe. Everybody's been using the low viewer count and metrics on Twitch and stuff. I'm like, I don't really think that means anything. I think that's just looking for a reason to hate the game. It's probably doing quite well. It's just like Diablo 4. Much as like every major content creator for action RPGs hates that game, it does insanely well. It's just like people that aren't hardcore are who's playing it. You know, people with like families and a consistent like 9-to-5 job are playing it, and they're just not talking on forums. They're not streaming it. They're not content creators, but like they do play it and they do spend money on it. Crystal of Atlan is definitely like that. Not as anywhere near as successful as Diablo 4, but it's the same thing pretty much. They're like, oh, there's no one streaming the game, it must be dead. I'm like, well, that doesn't mean that the game is dead. It might mean that there's no, like, top content creators playing it as a main game, but that doesn't mean it's dead. Probably a ton of people playing that on PS5 and probably spending an insane amount of money. But yeah, I definitely think the game would be doing better. It didn't have all those Korean MMO-isms. I mean, that's the biggest complaint about the game, though, is that it's a Korean MMO in disguise. That's what everybody dislikes about it. I'm like, yeah, exactly. That design pissed people off like 20 years ago. Imagine how it is now with service games being like way more polished and designed to be smoother experiences so that people have, you know, an incentive to spend money. Yeah, exactly. There's been a lot of that on the Reddit. People saying the game is dead. There are plenty of service games that are very successful that just don't have a streamer of a medium to large size that play it regularly. It doesn't mean that it's dead. People do that with single-player games as well, and it makes no sense. I'm like, dude, the shelf life for streams on Twitch of single-player games is like 2 weeks tops. Maybe a little bit longer if it's like a really big, meaty game like, you know, an FF7 remake or like a Monster Hunter or something. But shelf life of people playing those games is very short. Like with a service game, there has to be somebody that's like focused on mainly playing that game. But there aren't many. People seem to think that content creators make or break a game's success. They definitely are a big factor. But like, they think that everybody who plays service games is terminally online and complaining on Reddit and making videos and streaming and stuff, and that's totally not how it is. Everybody's like, Diablo 4 is dead. No one's playing it, no one likes it. I'm like, dude, there's plenty of people who play that game and are completely content with it the way it is. They're just not terminally online nerds. They play it after work. You know, they play a season for like a whole weekend. They take the weekend off, and they play it, and they move on. They come back in 3 months. You can't just say that it's failing because there's not people streaming it, or you know, the super fans of the genre don't like it. Like, that doesn't mean that game is immediately dead. I mean, yes, it's good if there's somebody streaming a game like that regularly, on a regular basis, with, like, minimum a couple thousand viewers, but it doesn't, like, completely make or break a game. A game like this, for instance, if somebody was if some big streamer was playing this organically, like, not sponsored, it would do wonders for it, for sure. They would get a lot of sales off of that, but the problem is when they release this game, for one. The algorithm is part of the problem, but the other problem is it's just sandwiched between, like, every major service game, action RPG. They're all getting a new season at, like, the exact same time. So, even though the price of this is fair, I've gotten 20 hours out of it, and I only paid $4. If I don't take this game all the way, I still got my money's worth, right? But I don't think it's the price that's the issue. I don't even think the art style is as much of an issue as they think it is. I think it's just there's too many choices with this type of game right now compared to, like, the stuff I normally play, like character action games. You don't get those that often. Like, action RPGs are, like, the most fruitful genre right now, pretty much. That and gacha games. There's just, like, choice paralysis and which one you want to play. I mean, it's already kind of weird that we're getting 2 character action games within 2 months of each other. That's, like, unheard of. That is not normal. Lucky to get one of those games a year.
Hear me out.
Victory!
Alright, I need 1,475. Is it possible to do that tonight? It's 500 from here. I think it might be next stream is when I do it. Let me see here. And get some for getting them level 20. There we go. There's a cool 75. What level is he? Oh, he's close too. Yeah, maybe I can do it tonight. Let me see. Alright, 1200. That's the fastest way to get 1200. Well, it's not going to be easy. Yeah, especially that's going to take forever. That's definitely not something I can do tonight. I guess I could go back and do the story, maybe. I really don't want to do that for obvious reasons. So that's 600. That might be the way to go. Alright, so 8 missions with him is 600. Let's plan out what the next one will be. And do 12 missions with him. I don't know if I can do this tonight, actually. It's gonna take a really long time. It's already like 2 in the morning. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and stop there, actually. I could definitely finish this later today. I'll try to stream in the morning. I'm actually have a little bit of a headache, so I think I should probably call it there. Thanks for watching. That was good progress. But I don't feel like doing another hour of that same mission. That's pretty much like the fastest way to do it.
Hey, Hunter.
I don't think it's probably any interesting to watch either. I'll probably do some of it off stream, so that when I come back, there can be like something actually interesting to watch instead of spamming this over and over.
Here to help.
I was just thinking about that. Like, I don't know how many people are watching. This probably isn't something that most people that watch me want to watch, but I don't fault anybody for not wanting to watch me do the same defense mission another 20 times. Like, I totally get it.
Sure.
I totally understand. I guess that's the benefit to doing the story. You probably level up quite a bit faster, but it is nice that you can play without doing the story. But I might have to actually sit down and do some of it just to speed this up. But this next tier is going to be the most significant one, because you get the tier 4 items. So you should be able to do, like, more activities and get progress. But right now I'm really gated by the level cap. Let's see if I can find him an accessory. That's pretty good progress today, though. Yeah, this game is awesome. I've really been enjoying it. It's a fun game. Definitely deserves a lot better than what it's getting. But hey, that's pretty much what my channel is, so... That's pretty much my channel in a nutshell. Algorithm doesn't like it. Doesn't mean that my content is bad. It's just that the algorithm doesn't prefer it. That's a thing that's one of the hardest things to understand, doing this semi-seriously. Alright, he can't use this. He can use this one. Alright. I'm gonna have to play as him for a while, so... How much money do I have? I have to optimize all their bills as well. Alright, so let me reiterate what I'm gonna do. Finish him up, and then probably do the one after that. Actually should be enough to clear everything and get the next level. And then Ace. It's gonna take 12 levels. 12 runs, and then getting him to 25, which should happen concurrently, I think. Alright, well, I'm done for now. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna skip the PGR dailies. I'll just do those off stream. I'm actually getting kind of hungry. Eat, take my meds. Hydrate. Alright, that was a good session. Next session, I'll get up to the final tier. But yeah, it's already like 2 o'clock. I'm looking at like 4 a.m. probably if I continued. I'll probably do a little bit off stream before I sleep, so hopefully you guys will get more interesting parts of the game to watch on the next stream.